Welcome to our Yin class. My name is Tammy. We begin our class in a reclined position with our pillows or our bolster. So if you have some pillows, you can prop them up for yourself. Our theme for our class is kindness and compassion. And of course, when we think of kindness and compassion, we think of others, but we want to be thinking also of ourselves too, being kind to ourselves. So this is our time. This is definitely showing that kindness to ourselves. If we've had maybe a difficult day, being kind, being compassionate with ourselves, knowing that this is time for ourselves, that we are here together. Turning into our bolster or our pillows, so maybe you need a couple pillows, you can also use a couch pillow, that works great. And we have our hips tucked in, and we'll lie over to our side and then rolling over to our back. Now just checking to make sure that your spine is in the middle, comfortable for yourself. This is a heart opener. So when we talk about kindness and compassion, we're opening through our heart. Here you may have your knees turned up towards the sky, or you can turn your knees out into butterfly. If you wanted to have pillows under the knees, you can do that, and you have lots of time. So set yourself up. You may turn your palms open towards the sky. We close our eyes and breathe. Natural breath. Our hips open. Knees fall open to the side. Breathing into any areas of tightness, uncomfortable places. And with this heart opener, this hip opener pose, you may start to open up through the mind, taking notice of our thoughts. Continuing to turn inward. We still may have a busy mind from our day. So you can turn to your breath to help. Inhaling And exhaling, the exhale being longer than the inhale. Continuing to open up through our pelvis. For 45 more seconds in our pose. Coming out of our reclined butterfly, we turn nice and slowly, knees back to the center. You may walk your feet out, heel toe, so that our ankles, knees, hips are in line with each other. We hold here for a moment. And then coming over to the side of our body, you can roll over to your right side and then make your way up. And coming over to the front of our body now. So here we'll tuck in the left hip, bringing your right hip behind, so bringing your right leg behind. You may place your left foot onto the top of, just above your knee, with our hip tucked in towards our pillows, bolster. We come over top and then let the left cheek rest. Nice opening through the right side of our body into the right side of our hip. Let yourself feel the softness, feeling the softness of the ground, letting the ground support you. And we sink into the ground. You may notice your heart rate here. Is your heart beating quickly, or has it slowed down? giving you this opportunity to pause, reflect, being kind to our body with support from our supports that we use for our class. Being kind with our thoughts, knowing that we are doing what is good for us and what works for us. One more cycle of breath, inhale and exhale. And making your way back up. And we turn towards our other side. We can do this just turning our body over. And now we tuck the right hip in towards our pillows, bolster. We take the left leg behind, coming up and over top of your nice firm pillows. And we let our right cheek rest on our bolster pillows. Our body softens. Enjoying the stillness, although at times it is hard to remain still for a longer period of time. And now we breathe.
One more cycle of breath. Coming out of our prone twist breath. We come up nice and slow. Your knees back towards the front. It can be just on the side of the body. We take our pillows or a bolster over to the side. And make your way to all fours for tadpole child's poses, or balasana. If you are wanting to lie on the side of your body, please go ahead or lie on your back. You can also sit on a chair and let your head hang down. Then you come with me to all fours. We turn our knees out to the sides. Upper mat, uncurl the toes. We sit back into the heels. Now, if this doesn't work for the knees, of course, lie on the side of the body or sit on a chair. You can take your arms forward, let the forehead rest down towards the ground. You may also let your forehead rest onto the backs of your hands, or you can have your elbows down and the forehead's resting into the palms of your hands. Find what will work for you. Being kind to our body. Sometimes we can push ourselves a little bit too much. So I want you to think, how am I going to make this work for myself? What is going to help me just to be able to relax into this pose, or a pose where I can relax? Three more cycles of breath. Now we make our way out of child's pose and we come to all fours. And then we can sit on our bottom. The next pose will be back with our pillows or the bolster for dragonfly. We take our legs into a V. I'm going to turn to face you. So with our bolster for the pillows, we open up our legs. Now it's nice to do this too You could actually have your knees bent and then lie on top. If you find that this nice opening right here is a little bit too much right now. So, or you can have your knees bent, you can have props underneath of the knees for support. You can also double up your pillows. So then you're gonna have, when you fall forward, you'll have more support. Stacking up those pillows. And remember, you have time. So using this time for yourself too. See what's going to work for you. I'm gonna tuck my bolster right into my inner thighs, into the groin. I will lift up and come forward. I can use my elbows for support for my forehead. Once you find what works for you, you set yourself up. We come into stillness. We feel opening through our inner thighs. Now expansion into our lower back. Breathing into any areas of tightness. And exhale, we let go, we release. See if we can let our forehead rest. Close our hands. I will call you back when it is time here. Now coming out of dragonfly, lift up slowly. We bend through one knee and then the other. Move our props away. Can bend through both knees, come over to the side of the body. Our next pose will be dragon. So from here, we come back to all fours. With dragon, if this one doesn't work for your knee, I can show you an option too. Into downward facing dog, so step forward with right hand, left hand, into downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, we take the right leg up and then bend through the knees, step onto the outside of the right wrist. The knee may be up or the knees down. And draw the pelvis down towards the ground, so pelvic tilt. You may come down to the forearms and hold. And we release our head down towards the ground. Now, an option for this I will show you. You may want to do this too for a little bit of a change. It would look like this. You may lie on your belly or you're on the side. And then holding onto your ankle and doing a pelvic tilt here. The bottom leg is bent. And I'm just holding here. If I was lying on the front of my body, it would look like this. With a pelvic tilt. Whichever pose you choose. Come into stillness. And breathe. Remember to be kind and gentle with yourself. Encouraging relaxation, your breath. Letting our thoughts pass by one by one, knowing with our practice, yoga practice, we'll be able to have clarity of mind. One more cycle of breath, the inhale and exhale breath. And then we can come out our dragon or the other pose that you may be in. And then coming back into downward facing dog. Into the other side for dragon, three-legged dog, left leg, and then step onto the outside of the left wrist. Or you're coming into the version. Dragon, your knee may come down. And we draw our pelvis down towards the ground. Forearms may come down. a deeper stretch into the left side of the pelvis now. Left side of the hip. With our head hanging, we may close our eyes and breathe, turning inwards, being aware of any areas of tightness that we can inhale into, exhale, release, being aware of our thoughts. One more cycle of breath. Coming out of dragon, we lift slowly back to downward facing dog. Down to all fours and coming over to the side of our body. Lovely. Our next pose is Sphinx. We come over to front of our body with the forearms down towards the ground. You may have your toes down just at first here and then uncurl the toes. Pubic bone is down. We elongate through the spine. Your elbows are underneath of your shoulders. We lift our heart up towards the sky. Draw your navel in. You may do a little tip of the chin. And then you can let it go, but just finding where it's going to work for you. It might just not work that you're letting your head fully hang. Just a little tip of the chin. Being aware in this pose of elongating through the spine. It's kind of two ends here that we definitely have to be able to feel comfortable in this pose to be able to get to the point that we can relax. But we also have to know that we need to continue to elongate through the spine for support. Draw the navel in towards the spine for support. Draw your shoulders down away from the ears. Maybe now we're able to release your head down towards the ground a little bit more, and you can let the head hang. Coming out of Sphinx, we slowly release our body into the ground, into Shavasana on the front of our body. We let our right cheek rest and our arms come down towards the side of the body. You can also lie on the side of your body. Lying on the front of the body does not work. Out of Shavasana, we take our arms forward, our head lifts, and now we lift our right knee up towards the front of our mat. Coming up a little bit higher, we take our left arm and we thread it through the side of our body here towards the right, and we take our left arm up and over. So with this big opening through the front of our body, our shoulder, it may not be accessible for you right now, so you could take the right arm, just cross, just let your arm rest on your side of your body. You could also be on your back, because this would be another way we've done this pose before, and then tuck your knees over to the left side, and then the arms come out to shoulder height. So what is going to work for you right now? You can set yourself up and find that stillness. You could also have a pillow underneath of the right knee or underneath of the right shoulder. And remember, you have time to set yourself up, because you want to be kind and gentle to your body. Kind and gentle with your thoughts towards yourself. coming out of our twist. It's the opposite way. We come back to lying on the front of our body, if that works for you. And here we can let our left cheek rest. Arms on the side, and curl our feet, let the cheek rest. Into our other side for our pose with our twist. We turn our head, bring our arms up. Okay, into the other side with the left knee up. We take the the right arm underneath. And windmill your left arm up and over. And again, setting yourself up. If this does not work for your shoulder, take the arm in. You could also draw both knees up. Bring your arms up to shoulder height. Taking the time to set yourself up. You could use the supports underneath the shoulder or the knee. And I didn't say for the last pose that you can turn your head to the opposite way of your knee. We let ourselves drift, drift, drift. And we come out of the twist, turning your head back first to the center, and then coming into that windmill, all in reverse, lying back onto front of our body back into Shavasana. And you can let the right cheek rest. And remember, you can lie on the side of your body too. We're here, we slowly release and make our way back into child's pose. It's the opposite. You can turn your knees out or the knees forward, and then the arms by the side of the body. Coming out child's pose, we come out to the side of our body and roll over to our back, side of our body, roll over to our back. And then we take our knees into the chest. Give ourselves a little hug here for cradle. We hold. You can do this pose seated and then fold forward with legs open wide and then fold forward. Now into stirrup or happy baby. We turn our knees out to the sides. They can hold on to underneath of the knees here and just do this. Or you can hold onto ankles or outside of the feet. And just draw your legs down a little bit further into the ground to open up through the pelvis a little bit more. It's big opening through the inner thighs, groin, breathing into the areas of tightness. With the inhale breath, open. Exhale breath, let go. Let ourselves sink into the ground with the exhale breath. Coming out of happy baby, drawing your knees back into the chest for cradle, and then we hold. We take our legs up the wall. So we take our legs straight up. We can point and flex the feet. And then hold. Just release those feet, just let them hang. And back, knees back into the chest. We take our right foot, left foot down to the ground. Our final pose, Shavasana, you may lie on your back. Knees may be bent or the legs straight. You could also do legs up the wall and actually place them against a wall. Lie on the side of the body. You could come into an incline with pillows, props there. Nice and warm. So if you have a blanket or anything you want to use to cover up your body. Go ahead and do so. When we find that stillness, we close our eyes. Our lips part, our facial muscles soften. You feel that support, not only from the ground, but from each other. Kindness to yourself, kindness from others, gentleness. I will call you back when it is time. Slowly coming back. Notice the sounds around you. You notice your breath. Notice a calm, gentleness from within. You can wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. A little shift through the body. And if you're lying on your back, you may bend through the knees. And take your right arm overhead and roll over to your right side to fetal. And then making your way up to a comfortable seated pose. And in this pose, we place our hands to our heart center. Close your eyes. Open up our eyes. We've taken time for ourselves. Kind and gentle. To be calm. So important for us. Thank you very much for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.